Hello, dear listeners. Today we will cover the second topic from the Kybalion, the principle of cause and effect. So we already spoken about the first principle of the mind, and everything is mind. So that is mostly considered the absolute principle, the timeless principle. Now, for the next 6 principles, we are going to explain how the manifestation from mind works. So, and the first of these principles regarding the manifestation is the law, cause and effect. We can find the law, cause and effect in many spiritual traditions, and many people nowadays are accustomed to the word karma, which means action. Now, the principle of cause and effect is well explained in different spiritual traditions. The Hermetic tradition of the Kybalion explains it. In the Hindu tradition is very well explained, but it's in the Buddhist tradition where the law, cause and effect is a central topic of the Buddhist teaching, and it's explained in very much depth. So now let's move to the brief explanation. So basically, the Buddha explained that all our feelings of happiness, unhappiness, neutral feelings that accompany every single moment of our existence are due obviously to the not knowing of the real condition of reality, which is the first principle of mind, timelessness, and then the subsequent formation of karma, cause and effect, which sets in motion endless chain of causes, conditions, and effects through what is called the 12 interdependent links of karmic formation. Now, we're not going to go into details about the interdependent links, the 12 interdependent links. You can find all that explanation in the book, in my book, The 7 Laws of Reality, which is the commentary of the Kybalion. But we'll just give a couple of primary points. So the reasoning of karma. Now, the first rule is the certainty of the result. The second is the reasoning in the increase of the result. And the third is that if there is no cause or action, there will be no experience of its results. So these are mostly like the 3 principal points. Then we have the different ways in which the causes mature into an effect. The first one is the experience of birth, like in which kind of birth you are, with which kind of body you have, body, speech and mind you have. The second is the effect, which is in agreement with the cause. So it's the compatibility, which is the urge of continuing committing the same actions, because causes ripen into effects and effects ripen into causes. The third is the cumulative effect, which is related to the environment where you're born and the collective causes of the beings in that environment. And the fourth is the cumulative effect of ripening, which is the tendency to experience the same situation, similar to what the causes were in the first place. Then we have the differentiation between the throwing and the completing karmas. So the potentiality to throw you into a birth or a rebirth, and completing is what kind of circumstances you're going to experience once you're born. Then we have the different degrees of ripening of causes. Now, before we explain this very briefly, I just want to add that it's not as simple as one cause, one effect. In fact, it's infinite causes give rise to infinite effects, which become causes for more infinite effects, which is so basically like an endless chain. And it's very, very difficult to to basically get out of these compulsory actions. So in fact, when what we do, what we say, what we think is mostly related to the causes that have been planted before. So then different degrees of ripening, we have many different factors. For example, the nature of the actions involved, in terms of how much suffering or happiness it caused to the object of the action. And related to this is the fact that for a cause to ripen into an effect fully, you need to have different rules. Like basically, there needs to be an object. Basically, there needs to be a subject and an object, and there needs to be a clear intention to act, and there needs to be a complete enjoyment of the effect of the action, and there should be no regret. So if we have all these four conditions, then there is certainty that those causes will ripen into exactly the same effect. If not, then there will be different degrees of ripening, and also causes can be counteracted by opposite causes. So this is very complicated and very vast, and no human mind can fully understand this process in depth. But we can just see a little bit in our limited visions. So then we have the strength of the emotion that is involved in a negative or positive action that we have committed. Is the compelling drive based on which view you have of the object. It's the basis of which the action is aimed, and the frequency of the habits of such actions, and so on and so forth. So this is just a small introductions to this vast subject of cause and effect, as explained in the Kybalion, and as commented in my book, The 7 Laws of Reality. And this concludes this podcast, and we will speak about the principle of vibration or sound in the next podcast. Thank you very much for listening.